You got one life, for crying out loud. You might as well just give it all you got.
The Deej, Dan Jordan.
Your daily dose of reality. Your daily dose of the Deej.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but I need my daily dose of the Deej.
I make the news. I don't watch the news. I'm a leader.
The Sales Energizer, Dan Jordan.
Listen, don't worry how to sell, baby. Worry about why people buy. And it's fun.
You don't need a 5-hour energy. All you need is the Sales Energizer.
Just when I think it's not going to be as fun as the one before, each one gets successfully better. What's the word I'm looking for?
What's it going to take to get you into this car today, huh?
And now, please welcome the Sales Energizer, Dan Jordan.
Boom! That's exactly it. Do that. Let's do that.
That's exactly.
That's it. You know,
normally on Tuesdays, people aren't ready for the Sales Energizer, Dan. But here we are, the Sales Energizer bonus edition Tuesday, and we're primed and ready.
Yes, that's right. Everywhere. So unmute, do whatever you have to do. Not only do you have an opportunity to get great products, but you have a great opportunity to learn from one of the best. The reason why I'm doing this on a Tuesday is because, let me tell you a secret. So I rarely watch TV. Right. And, but I'm watching, and like on cable, sometimes these commercials come up and you're like, you're watching a commercial and it's like an interesting commercial. You're seeing a guy and you're like, what's going on? And then the guy that was on there talking was just like so sincere that I kept on listening. And then I looked up the company from Atlanta. I go, this is crazy. I must know this. So I picked up the phone and called them to try to do business with him because I'm the Sales Energizer. But then I found I could get a hold of him. We were LinkedIn together. And so I said, hey, let me get him on the show. I mean, he has a way of making everybody look better than they are. And I'm like, I could use that.
Can you look any better right now? I mean, the whole wood grain vibe. I mean, I don't know if it's even possible, really.
Yeah, this is actually that's the whole thing. Yeah, I have obviously, this is one of those Amazon specials. You get, it's a background here. It's not a real thing, but I was talking to somebody. I was coaching somebody a little earlier. We were talking, and he was out on vacation. Not vacation, but had to do some business out of town. And he's got one of these backgrounds, but it's like an office. And so he took it with him, and he put it up in the hotel, and nobody knew that it was. So they you could, literally in your suitcase, you could bring your office with you. That's the marketplace right now. That's why, how to use technology to make yourself look better. And in video, it's the same thing. So we got to bring on this production guy because he's going to let us all know how to do it.
But before you start off and running, it's hard to keep you on the rails here. But if you're watching on any of the other tubes, you're watching on Facebook, you're watching on LinkedIn, you're watching on YouTube, you're watching on Twitter. We're actually live on Amazon, and you're probably like you're doing that dog thing when it hears like a weird noise, it kind of does that number. When most people do that when they hear about Amazon Live for the first time. Amazon does have a live streaming platform, and that guy over there, Dan Jordan, goes live on the Amazon as the Sales Energizer user once a week, but he's also known as the Pitch Man. So if you want to go and join in the party on Amazon, and Dan, there's been a party these last couple of days, including today. It's Prime Day over on Amazon.
So it's a day that you might. Hey, listen, as long as you're going to watch the Deej, you might as well get some great deals along the way too. So not only do you get knowledge, insight, and eye candy, you also get the opportunity. Did I really just say that?
You really did. It's the pitchman.live. We made it easy. So open up a browser, head to the pitchman.live. So without further ado, we want to introduce our special guest, our bonus edition of Dan Jordan Live. Would you please welcome the founder, the owner, president, editor, producer of TC Production. Would you please welcome Mr. Trenton Carson?
Oh, there we go. You see, he had it. He had it prior to. A lot of times in the background, people in the backstage, people don't know when to do it. Man, always go early. That's the thing about you, Trenton. You're always on time.
Got to be prepared.
Got to be prepared. And that's big in your business. So listen, here's the thing. I have certain amounts of jealousy for people. And the jealousy is that you're on TV. You've got that cable commercial.
Yeah, that's pretty much what we do. We want to make sure we're being seen everywhere at all times.
Yeah. So let's say, here's the thing, because a lot of people are, not me, actually, even me. It's like it takes a little money, it takes a little planning, it takes a little put together your stuff, but it also takes a certain amount of courage to go ahead and plunk down some loot and get online and really put yourself out there, on TV, on a big medium. How did you muster up the courage to do that? And did it take a long time, or is that just you?
It took a long time. This is not natural. Nobody gets something to say, I just want to get in front of the camera, especially not business owners. I want to give a good shout out to my business coach, Donna Lane, and her mastermind, because she really got me into getting in front of the camera. The saying goes, a cobbler wife has no shoes. Well, we own a video production company, but we didn't have any videos. So we had to go ahead and drink our own Kool-Aid. I'm telling our clients to get in front of the camera, but we didn't have that much stuff in front of ourselves. So Dr. Lane had me get in front of the camera and say, hey, you have to be the face of your business, which makes sense. That's the stuff that we've been preaching to our clients. Well, once we started, it opened up a whole new landscape for us.
All right. So now I want a teachable moment for everybody with this whole thing, because, and this is on Amazon as well. One of the things we sell a lot is these microphones. We use the Samsung Q2U, but we're big on microphones. And the reason why it's important to sound good is because you did two things. You gave a good testimonial and a shout out to someone, and at the end, you named a product of something you had to do, both of which I didn't hear because the microphone wasn't clear, because you're on your phone or what have you. But this is really important. So who was the person that encouraged you to do that?
Oh, okay. I'm sorry that my air was going out. But my business coach, Donna Lang, she's the one that really got me in front of the camera, saying you have to drink your own Kool-Aid, you have to do it yourself. You got to.
That's it. So your business coach, Donna Lang. And so, I think that's really cool, because what that does is, so what if I'm a customer, so I'm I don't know, I'm a restaurant, or who's a perfect client for you? Like, who's the perfect type of customer that you would like to do business with?
Well, the perfect client, the perfect customer would most likely have a marketing team or a person behind either a marketing coordinator, marketing manager, VP of marketing, CMO. Because for us, if we give you a video, you have to be able to execute it. Meaning you have to put it online. You have to have different ways to market that video, because what good is a video if nobody sees it?
Well, that's good. Now
you're not just saying, hey, I'm going to do all this great looking video for you. Here you go. Do whatever you want to do with it. You're actually taking it that next step and working with the team and saying, and helping them out. Or even before you even create that, you needed to make sure that they have a plan for that video afterwards.
Exactly. Before we go into a meeting about the video, we ask them, where is the video going to go? What's the marketing strategy behind it? What's the initiative? Because once I understand where it's going to be and who it's going to be in front of, I know what I'm going to make.
Now that is so key, because you could spend a lot of money. People used to do this in the old days with a lot of brochures and things like that. And every business that I go into has a closet in the back filled with brochures and point of sale material that they use from 1987.
Yes, and that's wasted money for them.
That's right. On a small scale, even for the small business owner, business cards. Nearly every I do presentations and be in front of people, and I go, how many people in this room have business cards left over from a job you've had 2 jobs ago? And like everybody's hand goes up. The first thing you get a welcome wagon into the new place. You visit human resources. You get 500 business cards, and then when you leave the company, you have 490.
You're right about that.
Business cards in your pocket make no money for anybody. And it's the same thing with videos. So that's important. So if I ask, so with that said, let's say I'm a company that's very, I'm active on social media. I got a place to put the video. I got that squared away, or I outsource it to some other people. No problem. We've had people on the show that have been just absolutely dynamite with that I'll hook you up with, and so you could at least refer them and all that. Or you may have some people. But are there any particular verticals? Are there any, like, are you good with restaurants, or are you good with digital marketing companies? What are you best with? What's your wheelhouse? I was going to say bailiwick, but that's too fancy for me. What's your wheelhouse? Or he doesn't hear me. See, this is the problem with technology. What you need is a good camera that has a good microphone on it, available there. So you can't hear me anymore.
We're not hearing you, Trenton. Can you hear us? Give us a thumbs up if you can hear us.
I can hear you now. I can hear you now. No. So last question I heard was, who? Go ahead.
What's your vertical?
So, and I know you mentioned to restaurants. You mentioned, it could be lawn care. It's pretty much businesses that's ready to get on with digital marketing, because my whole saying is everybody can use video, even radio, because you want to make sure that you get in front of the client. But we usually work with small and medium-sized businesses, usually in the range of between 1 to 50 employees. But our whole thing is, it depends on the company, is who exactly is going to be able to run this marketing campaign. That's what, if you have somebody to run it, that's what we're going to work with, because that's what we're going to be talking to.
Well, so do you ever turn companies down? What would be something that you can say, hey, buddy, this isn't going to work?
Well, yes, we have turned companies down. It's not necessarily if they don't have a good fit. Like I said, if they don't have anybody to run it, we're going to ask them, what's the strategy? What's your client avatar? Who is we putting this video in front of? If they can't answer those type of questions, we know that they're not gonna waste the video, not like that, but they're not gonna be able to maximize the impact of the video that we're gonna create for them. Because what ends up happening, if you have no initiative, no marketing initiative for the video, you're gonna post it on Facebook or LinkedIn maybe 2 times and said, oh, that's enough. Everybody saw it. And a month later saying, come to me, say, this video didn't work for me. I posted it everywhere you said to post it, but you didn't, because you're too busy running your business, that's what you're supposed to be doing. But if you had somebody there that's had a content schedule, marketing schedule, and a certain initiative, then it's getting out there, getting in front of the people where it needs to be at. And now you can get your maximum ROI from it.
Well, so
yeah,
what
I love that, because you're getting in front of these companies, and a lot of times you're probably educating them a little bit, because a lot of these companies, they know they need a commercial, or they know they need digital marketing, but they don't really know who their ideal customer is, who that type of person is, or who those type of people are, what their problems are, and how they work to have a product that solves those problems. And when they can communicate that to you as someone who creates video, as someone that creates content that they can work to market themselves, that equips you to deliver the best possible content for them that works. Like you said, if you can only work with what you're given, and if they don't give you that information, if they don't give you like, here is our ideal customer, here's the demographics, here's how much money they make, here's where they live, here's, and all of that, you take that information, you could create the best video possible for you that will hit their exact customer. And I think a lot of people, they don't do that. They don't think about that stuff. And you're thinking about that in front of the customer, so that actually gives you something that they come back and say, man, that video worked, and it's like, well, yeah. Who to use it.
Right. They told me who's using it, because most people think a successful video is a viral video. And that's not it. A successful video is a video that reaches the people that's going to pay for you. And so if you can reach that demographic, then that's all you really need to do. Everybody don't need to see your video, but the people that's buying from you, they need to see your video. If you're talking directly to them in a way that they want to receive it and they can take action from it, you're going to win every time.
So you don't just make videos that look good and fancy, you make videos that sell.
Exactly. I want to talk directly to the person that's handing you money. And if we can't talk to that person, what are we making the video for in business wise?
Okay, so this is marketing more than it is a video production. So you're making these videos with the customer in mind. Mm-hmm. So what type of questions do you ask? And I'm going to ask this. Actually, I'm going to ask this of you. What do I have to hear from a business owner that I may be dealing with to let me know that I could say to them, hey, I got a guy? Like for me, we work with companies that invite us into the companies that are having some sort of trouble getting new customers. Where, not new business sales is. So if you hear someone say, man, we can't any new customers, you could just tell them, hey, I got a guy. So that's the thing for me. So what would I have to hear for me to have to refer you?
Well, they're going to say things like our marketing is not working, or we're very stagnant. We're not being visible. We're not being seen. How do we get in touch with new people? You hear stuff like that, and usually because their marketing is stagnant. Question that we're going to ask them going into a session is, who are we creating this video for? What do they like about you? What do they like about your product? What's your best-selling product or your best-selling service? Why do they like that service? Because my thing is, before I can introduce your company or your new service or new product, I have to first understand why they like the first one. If they like to understand why they like the primary, then we can introduce the secondary, or we can bolster up the primary. But if you can't tell me that, then it's hard for me to really go in and create the video that you want. If you're just saying, hey, I just want a video about my business, and I'm like, but what aspect of your business do you want to highlight? If you can't tell me those type of questions, I don't know what I'm creating. I can just take the camera from you and just tell you the talk.
Well, if I was going to make
as far as you want, but
if I was going to make a video of your company, so it's the same thing. I'm asking for your avatar. Why do people use you as opposed to other people?
Mm-hmm. So here's I'm for you. I'm gonna give you a little secret into our avatar. What we discovered. We make videos for marketing managers, marketing coordinators that's been in their company less than 5 years. And what we've noticed is there are usually women between 30 and 45. So that's what we make our videos for.
For women between 30 and 35 who are marketing managers in companies and they've been there less than 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
See, I mean, that is so dead on. That's cool. So you know exactly how to market to that person. So this is actually really interesting to me. So do you have a list of those people in a particular demographic area?
Yes. We usually in the East Cobb, North Fulton, and Buckhead area, Metro Atlanta area. Yes, we have a list that we go after and that we reach out to. We have an avatar in our Google Ads, and our Facebook, and our LinkedIn posts. We know directly who we're talking to, and the reason why, well, we look at our metrics. That's another reason. But we understand that if you're a new marketing and a new company, say you've been there less than 5 years, that you're qualified enough to bring new ideas, but you're not indoctrinated into the old culture they already have there. And so you want to keep bringing new ideas, new fresh ideas before you last there be there too long. And then if you look at studies and trends, especially in marketing, most marketing managers are there. After about 6-7 years, they're on to another job. So you want to get them right in that sweet spot.
That's right. And they could take that to their new job and then call you up again. So your products, what's a typical engagement look like in terms of what you give to them, and then is it reusable? Because that's the whole thing. You want to make something once, but you want to be able to reuse it, at least for a few years.
Yes. We always go in with the mindset that they're not going to create another video for the next 2 to 3 years. Even if they do it every quarter, we go in with that mindset. We try to create evergreen content. We don't try to time our videos where, unless it's for a specific marketing initiative, we try to keep it as evergreen as possible. And we also, with the extra footage, we teach them how to take this footage that we shot and reuse it. We shot a 2-3 minute video. All right. So we're going to make, 10-second versions of it, 15-second versions of it, 30-second versions of it, 1 minute version of it. And then what didn't make it, that got left on the cut floor, how do we piece these together to give them little social media snippets that'll carry them on, for a couple quarters until they either ask us to come back or we need to develop something fresh.
Got it. And do you have any success stories here in Atlanta?
Oh, yes, I do. One of my recent success stories, we worked with a local CPAP company, and that's a rich industry. You wouldn't think about it like that. The owner, Rob Brandt, we worked with him for many years. They have all these different types of CPAP. But the thing was, we created videos of him showing how to unbox it, showing him how to set up the CPAP. Now he's getting calls from all over America because they see his video unboxing it. So when they see him unboxing it, he's now the industry expert for CPAP. So I want to call him and say, hey, how does this work? How do you do this? How do you make this thing?
Well, let me ask you, does he sell those CPAPs on Amazon?
I'm not sure. I have to ask him that. I know he sells it directly from his website, and so he got a local store in Metro Atlanta. But I don't know if he sells on Amazon.
Yeah, because Amazon is like the supermarket to the world. I'll tell you what's not a success story for you right now. Your bloody microphone stinks. And it stinks. I mean, are you kidding me? Here you have an opportunity. But the good news is many of those Bluetooth things are available for you here on Amazon. So, one thing that one thing your videos can show is something that works really well, but you could also demonstrate when things just blow. And that's when it's nice. We'll have to have you on again where we can get the whole you instead of just half the words.
I'm sorry about that. I will have to bring in an additional microphone.
Where are you?
So I'm at my house. We're located in Roswell. Our studio located in Roswell, but I'm not working home.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, that's cool. So
Trenton, I've got a question because I do some video myself. I'm not as accomplished. Certainly don't own a video production company like TC Productions is, but I know there's probably a lot of people out there that are aspiring to do video and aspiring to do and to make people look great, which is a lot of what you guys do. And so what what kind of advice would you give to someone who may be starting out that is aspiring to do that kind of stuff? And, like what maybe should they start out doing, and what's kind of like the mindset after you've gone through, I'm sure you've had a history of successes and maybe failures, and maybe something that you could share with someone that would help them along in their journey maybe a little bit quicker.
Well, you start by just getting some basic equipment. Just get the basic lighting, uh, get a basic DSLR camera just to practice and start on. Me, I love Canon products. So Canon T6i, 1070i, and all that stuff. That's what you start off with, a basic lens. You want to upgrade the lens to maybe.
Well,
no, we're not hearing
this.
But we'll we'll grab.
Okay, I'm sorry about that.
There we go. Yeah, no problem.
Oh,
yes, I'm sorry about that. So I pretty much saying. Okay, so you start with a basic lens, a basic kit lens, just to practice. Then you want to go up to a prime lens, maybe a Rokinon lens, or a Rokinon Cine lens. It's just a glass lens that you want to start with. But my thing is, if you're going to be in front of the camera, get used to being in front of the camera. When you wake up, go to the mirror and smile. Start off doing that. You have to get used to seeing yourself like everybody else sees yourself. And so you should start off smiling and talking in the mirror. Just understand your pacing. We all have different pacing. Dan has different pacing. Chris has different pacing. I have different pacing. Understand, do you talk with your hands? Do you tap your leg? Do you do all these different things? And learn how to work around that. And once you get that stuff buttoned down, then learn how to edit, because you're going to always look at yourself like, oh my God, what am I doing? No, that's how it always starts out. Get used to your voice. And then once you graduate from that, then you can put out videos either at a more alarming clip, or you can start working with video production companies like myself.
Well, that's cool. Well, so I like that CPAP. That was very interesting. What other types of companies do you work with? Give me another success story. I think that's cool with the CPAP guy. I mean,
So our recent one outside the CPAP is one we was working with Chattahoochee Tech, a technical college that's local in this area. We wanted to create several commercials for them because of COVID, they couldn't get in and recruit to the high schools anymore. So they have to bring everything online. And so how do you do that? How do you showcase your college and some of the courses that you have online? Well, you do it with a video, and you do it with a video commercial. And so we were able to help them with their spring and fall registry by producing these videos to bring for the the high school recruiters and the high school counselors to show in place of them actually being there.
Well, that's cool. And do you make like a story? Or what do you, I always have a challenge when I'm doing videos. I basically, I know how I'm going to start, but I never quite know how and when I'm going to finish. Do you build like an actual storyboard on how the commercial is going to go, or do you just videotape a bunch of stuff and then just turn it into something in the editing room?
Both. But we do create a storyboard. We kind of plan out what we want the video to look like. Me and the team come together. We create a storyboard and a shot list. The storyboard pretty much basically tells us, okay, here's the shot sequence that we want to put together that'll create this 30 seconds, 1 minute commercial, however long it's going to be. And then our shot list saying these are particular shots that we're going to have to get that's going to make it. If an earthquake, tornado, whatever happened, if we got these 6, 7, 10 shots, we know we can make the commercial. Anything after that is just added creativity that we can put a twist on later. But we usually plan out what we want to do before we go into it. And we also share it with the client so they can have a basic idea of what's going to happen, because it's a lot of unknowns, especially like saying working with a company. You don't know what's going on. You don't know what it's going to look like. And so we're bringing something that hasn't been made yet, and we're making it real.
That's cool. And so has it been those commercials? Do you encourage your people to do what you're doing on cable TV with those commercials too? Or like, do you assist them in their marketing program, aside from finding out if they don't have one? Like, here's Trenton. Trenton, you want to come to me? I'll tell you who my customers is, but we got no marketing. I don't know what the hell to do. That's why I hired you. Will you help me with that?
Yeah. So we have several partners that we can work with. That we work with a lot. They're saying, hey, we're going to hand it off to this partner for your Google ads. We're going to hand it off to this partner for your, Comcast Spotlight. So we have different partners. We bring everything to the table and say, how do you want to address this? You can have us take over the whole project, or we can just do the video and we can hand you off here. We can do all this. But we really try to encourage them to do the whole gamut, because, like I said earlier, what good is having this video if nobody sees it? It has to be seen for it to be effective.
Okay. And has yours been effective? I mean, is this quantifiable, or can you read the stats and see a great, with all your clients, can you see the improvement in it? In new client, I guess.
I can see that.
I mean, not just views, but people actually pick up the phone and get the phone ringing. Yeah, so that's.
And the thing is, with small business and local business, the great thing about it is your customer base knows you. When they see your face, they're tuned in. Every time if they know Dan, they see Dan, they're watching Dan, and they will call him up. Hey, I just saw this commercial. Hey, I didn't know you was doing this. And that's what I've been seeing a lot lately with a lot of our customers, is that when they're localized and they're on LinkedIn, they're on TV, Google Ads, YouTube, all this stuff, when their audience sees them, they're ecstatic for them. And they do not hesitate to call them in and say, I just saw you, while I was watching such and such program. I can't believe you're on TV.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. I discovered that years ago. I was driving a client. This is when I was a stockbroker. I don't know how I was a stockbroker. I literally had no brain. I had no money, no brain. How the heck? And so this guy, I had one of my clients, and we're driving, and he saw a big billboard of an attorney, and the amount of pride he took by saying, that's my attorney right there. It was amazing. All the guy did was spend $2,000 a month to put his face on that billboard. And this guy was like, he felt like he was part of something big because he was out there advertising. So I think that's super. Exactly. And everybody, I need to tell that story to myself more often, because what happens with businesses, small businesses especially, is used to be real easy. You wake up, you decide, I'm going to go into business for myself, and so the first thing you do is you get a business license, you get an LLC, you get a bank account, and then you call up the Yellow Pages. And then you get into the Yellow Pages, and you have to be timed just perfectly because it only came out once a year. Sometimes you miss the deadline, you want to kill yourself, but you have to wait a whole year. But then the Yellow Pages went away, and all these other options are here, and people get so flustered. What do I do? Should I do Google AdWords? Should I do Facebook? Should I do Amazon? Should I do videos? Should I do blogging? Should I do social media? And so all this stuff happens, and they say, you know what? Why don't I just do nothing? And that's what most people do.
Yeah.
It's just nothing. So. Yeah. And it's not that they don't want to. It's just, what's your budget? I got no budget. I used to have a budget when I had Yellow Pages. I knew exactly. I spent $786 a month, and I knew exactly where it went. And I got angry when I didn't get certain. And now I don't know what the heck I'm doing. And so, and that's a fear. Will you see you're one thing, your video marketing, right? Mm-hmm. You make but you're really a part of the whole team. Like, do you take the lead?
Yeah.
Yes. All right. So, and
we do. I do. You take the lead.
All right. Well, in terms let me teach you something. In terms of interviewing, one word answers makes me look like an idiot. So, so here, how about this? Can you tell me a story where someone didn't have anything and you kind of went in there and built their whole marketing program to success?
Oh, okay. I'm sorry about that.
I'm not. I'm joking.
Oh, well, we do take the lead. We ask who's accountable, who we report to, and that's usually either a CMO or VP or whatnot. But outside of that, we go in there and say, okay, if we're doing the video production and we know who we're creating for, here's the stuff that we need, and who that we're running to, who's in charge, and saying, hey, when I'm creating this, I'm sending it to you so you can say, all right, you can check the mark off, and we go on to the next. We keep doing that till we get a finished product. But we go in there, we build up everything. We ask, what is the coloring? What's the font type? What's the client avatar? All that, and we piece things together. And then we set production date. We set the post production, and we just start building from there until we get to a point where even in a rough draft, we're saying, hey, what do you like? What do you don't like? What do you hate? And then we start editing up down till we get a final product that everybody likes.
Oh, that's strong. And that works. Like, because a lot of times, customers will want stuff that you don't. You're the pro. You know what works and what doesn't work. And so, in that case, do you find yourself, because this happens, do you find yourself in a point where you say, man, I know this isn't going to work, but if you want to do it, we'll do this way, but I'm not taking responsibility for it?
We have that majority of the time. So,
really?
We get a lot of pie in the sky ideas going on. We say, hey, we can do that, but in this particular scenario, we don't think that's the best route that we should go. Here's some alternative routes that we like to take that are either fit in the budget or more safer. Would you like to look at that? And they'd be like, no, we insist it has to be this. We insist it has to be this. And I say, okay, but if we have to reshoot this, that's an additional charge. Then I usually fall back in line.
Okay. So, listen, as long as it sells and so how long can somebody expect to wait for that ROI, for it to pay for itself and then some? If they do everything that you say.
So it's marketing. We always tell them 90 days. You have to be 90 days of consistent. So when we're working with a client, when we're saying what's the strategy or the timeline for this, we always say you have to market a quarter after that we produce this. So if we're shooting it in the first quarter, then knock it out, market it during the second quarter, and usually around middle of second quarter, in the third quarter, you're gonna start seeing ROI because they have to market it consistently for 90 days. If they can do that, then they will see a tremendous ROI from it. What usually happens is they will market it for 6-7 days and say, oh man, I've seen this so many times. Everybody else has to be seeing this so many times. So it's enough out there. Or they'll market it for 2 weeks straight and say, okay, some emails coming in, some phone calls coming in. Oh, the video's done this work. So we should stop, go on to doing other things. And we said, do not stop. We always equate it to like waiting in the line at the DMV. You're moving up. But once you get out of line and you come back, you don't get back to the spot where you left off. You go back to the end and you start all over again.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, see, it's all about consistency. You got to keep it. It's slow and steady wins the race. You got to keep on rocking and rolling with that same thing. Exactly. Same thing with these kind of podcasts. Same things with doing. People were doing Clubhouse for a while and all that stuff. Are people still into Clubhouse, Chris Stone?
Not as much.
No. Okay. Yeah. It was
definitely not as much. But, there's competition, Twitter Spaces. Now Spotify has a green room. And so, I think it's going to impact the market in a lot of ways. And I think it's good to have some audio only things to lean into. But yeah, I think in a lot of ways, There was I don't want to call it a flash in the pan because I think it's going to be around for a while. And I know Mark Cuban's got one coming. And so there's a lot. And I think that's going to definitely impact how we market a lot of different things from just an audio only perspective. But yeah, it's definitely come down. I mean, there's not, 7-day marathons in clubhouse rooms anymore.
Yeah, God, no. But yeah, that's the whole thing. I much rather, when hiring people, part of our business is recruiting top-notch salespeople. And whenever I'm looking for people, I'm looking for a real hunter, a monster out there. Man, I much rather have somebody with consistency than someone even with skills. I mean, hire for will and train for skill. You can do that. But if someone's going to pump out every day, like every day I do a LinkedIn video, a little tip of the day, every single work day, 5 days a week, whatever. I throw it out, and some are really good, but some are kind of but it's just consistency, and that's how you build your brand with your whole thing. And you're right, marketing for 90 days, heck, doing anything, even dropping your phone. This is, I'm one of those, your phone.
That's a mic, Dan. That's not a phone.
I'm one of the people that flaps his arms all the time. You were talking about pacing and stuff. I'm an arm flapper. But yeah, consistency is key. So you could pretty well guarantee you stick with me for 90 days, you're going to see a return on your investment.
Yes, I can. Yeah, I can pretty well guarantee that if you stick to it for 90 days, you're going to see a significant ROI.
A significant ROI. Well, what? Just to push a little further, what does that mean? Significant ROI. Let's say I spend $10,000 with you. Mm-hmm. So my investment, my eye,
thing is
we're
10
going to
sit down. Well, we're going to sit down with you and say, what's a goal for you that we're trying to achieve? Are you trying to achieve more awareness? Are you trying to achieve more views? Or are you trying to achieve more sales? Once we determine that then we go ahead and benchmark. So, but if you came in with saying $10,000 for ROI, as your
no, I want sales.
We're gonna say, okay, depending on what you're selling, can we hit that ROI in the next 90 days? And most likely we can if you're doing it consistently.
Most likely we can. CAN, right? My father used to do that. My father had a little accent, and can't sounded like the same word. It was like this. Yeah, we can do that. And if you couldn't do it, he would say, "Oh, we can do that," which is like the same word, but it's a little yeah. And so I didn't know you're. So that's right. Why are you shaking your head, Chris Stone? If you knew
somehow Trenton, Dan's dad makes it into every single one of the shows. So
yes, well, it was Father's Day, and just recently. You got any kids? You married?
I got kids. I got a 5-year-old and an 8-year-old, and I'm trying to keep them quiet. They have this thing every time I get on a live stream. They like to sit on the side and ask me things because they know it's always going to be yes. And so they would sit there and say, "Hey, can I have some to drink? Can I have some candy?" And I said, No. We're at home. I don't even know if they're fully clothed.
That's right. That's true. Kids like to be naked a lot. Kids, and when you become. And when you become an empty nester, when the kids move out of your house, there was a time that Sophie was away at college and Matthew was out and all this stuff, and it was just me. And I was in my underwear a lot more than I was before that. I know you really wanted to know that, Trent. You should make a video about that. All right. So I can't tell you how much I appreciate you coming on here today. This is great. Why don't you just finish up if you can, maybe a quick story of somebody why did you get started in this in the first place? And then and who should use you?
So I always wanted to do video. I got started by in high school. I was like 15 and I watched this movie called The Matrix, and it was phenomenal. The graphics, the effects. And so I started diving into it. I wanted to go to school for for effects. And effects is really complicated, so I end up going around doing documentaries and narrative. But I got into film school doing that, so I always wanted to do film, and I'm able to do it every day.
Well, that's awesome. So, how could people get a hold of you and all that? And so, and what will you have any offers you can offer somebody or some company?
Well, you can get in touch with us. Go to our website, tcpvid.com. You can check out some of our business videos, some of our other portfolio, and just to see how we can work together. The main thing about video that I really love that business owners like is that it's an avenue where you can get the most amount of information in the least amount of time with the least amount of effort. Your audience is just sitting there.
I think that's a terrific way to do it. Well, I can't tell you how much I appreciate you coming on today. I know I just called you last week, and I was one of those people. I saw you on TV, and I'm like, who is this guy? So I just picked up the phone and called. Actually, I use LinkedIn. So you're right. You were able to brand yourself so I could see you guys in various different mediums, cable TV, LinkedIn, Facebook, you're all around. And because of all that together, I'm thinking, hey, this guy is legitimate. And so we made the connection, and you were brave enough to pick up the phone and agree to come on the show with Chris Stone, because he's very difficult to deal with. You could tell. That's how he rolls. But next time when we have you back, you got to have yourself you know what, you should do it from your production studio in Roswell. You just have to put some clothes on your kids and it'll all work out.
I would definitely do that. I would definitely do that.
All right. Well, we'll come and see you. I thank you so much. And you guys out there, Chris, don't you have any parting words?
Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you again tomorrow at noon, or tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern.
You're okay with the 4 p.m. switcheroo?
I am okay with the 4 p.m. switcheroo.
All right, we'll get it going.
That was great. We appreciate it. And Dan?
Yes, sir.
What are we doing? You want to sign us out?
Yeah, what the heck? All right. So as long as you guys are here the whole way, you know what? When you're just getting started with something new, like the idea of putting your face on a camera in front of thousands or hundreds of thousands of people, please realize this. Ain't nobody going to see it first. So it doesn't matter. It's just you. The biggest audience you have to worry about is the one you see in the mirror. As soon as you're comfortable with that, everything is open to you. And video is your way to get out there. I wish nothing but good things to happen to you all for the rest of your life. Eat well, live long, and prosper. Go get them today.
Thanks, Trenton.